Hoş geldiniz arkadaşlar. Kaldığımız yerden devam ediyoruz. En son bu Vanguard görevi yapıyorduk. Şimdi atalım en eski, çok eskiden, yani eskiden de dedim ya, çok eskiden dedim de bir Vanguard görevine şey gitmişti işte. Bir doktoru kurtarmak gitmişti bizim test görevimizde. Orada bir dehşet gen denen canavar saldırmıştı bize. Onunla şey yaptık. Bir örnek vermişti. O örneği Vanguard üstüne tutmuştuk. O da bize bunu çözüyorsa Dr. Walker çözer dedi. Bize Mars'a geldik Dr. Walker bulmak için. Kırmızı şeytanların peşine düştük. Bakalım en son bir barmen bize işte onun için Doktor Walker'ın borcunu ödedik. O da bize onun yerini söyledi. Şimdi onun yerine gidiyoruz. Hadi bakalım başlayalım. Devam edelim yani.
If you're gonna use the elevators or stairs to reach the other levels, try to keep them clean. I hate it.
Bu arada geçen bölümde yaptık bu üstü. Zırh aynı. Zırh daha özellikle daha güçlü. Kılıçlar. Bus koyduk. Tam da böyle altlardan bus veriyor ya. O çok güzel aramış arkadaşlar. Ve şu an kılıçları kullanamıyoruz. Bir mod varmış. Kılıçlar ekleyen tarz mod. Ona bakacağım bir ara. Şu an çok mod kurasım yok. Bayağı mod kurdum. Hiç patlatmadım sebep. Bir ara onu da deneyeceğim ama. O modu da deneyeceğim. Yani daha çok milli silahlar veriyor işte. Milli damage diye bir mod adı. Ama o yüzden şimdi milli silah çıkamadık. Millimizi güçlendirmedik. Yani seferinde milli yakın dövüşe girersek onları da o modu yükleriz. Versiyon alalım. Uzak mı? Tabii gidelim mi? Bence binelim ya, hiç uğraşmayalım ya. Fırtına var. Mars'ta fırtına ya. Bu modda benim modum sayesinde oluyor bu işte. Bu da bu mod sayesinde oluyor bu havalar. Daha gerçekçi yapan mod bunları. Yani demikmeye direkt dedim ama her dakika yağmur yağdırıyor. Her dakika. Onun bir de ayarı da yok. Bize gidiyorsun, hemen yağmur yağıyor gittikten bir dakika sonra hatta 30 saniye sonra. Onu tam yapamamışlar. Onun bir ayarını ya da onun ayarını bize salsalar biz atsak. Yani bize gidiyorum tak hava değişiyor. Tak hava değişiyor ya. O kadar yani iyice elim kaçırdı yani. Elim kaçırdı ondan modu kaldırdım. Her modda tutuyor. Yani çok gerçekçi çok baltalıyor o mod. Tamam o yağmur yağdırıyor, havayı değiştiriyor, güzel oluyor da her dakikada olur mu be kardeşim? Yağmur getiren gibiyiz mübarek. Her gittiğimiz yere yağmur getiriyoruz. Ya ortam çok iyi ya. Oyunu abi sevdim. Modlar çok daha güzel oldu. Geçen bölümde gidemiz kapıya gireceğiz bir tane buradan. Hani de kapıda girememiştik ya. Oo. Yavaş. Lan ben şu an kapı açacak kapı sandım. Allah seni kahretmesin ya. Gerçek gibi az ya. Tek zıp. Kol tuşuna bastığım gibi havaya uçuyor adam ya. Aynen. Ya hadi bunun cephanesi fazla bulamıyorum ya. Yani çok iyi. Rusya. Nerede olan sen kullanıyorum? Rusya. Abi çok iyi. Güzel hasar çıkartıyor. Ama işte mermisi az bulunuyor bunda. Nasıl satacağım bir yere? Oraya kayıtımızın yeni şekli. Nasıl beyler? Onu şimdi kullanıyorum da çok beğenmedim. Çünkü göt kısmı birden... Yani bu daha çok kadın daha çok yakışır kadın karaktere. Peki şimdi biraz takılalım böyle. Takılsın böyle gözüke iyi duruyor. Ve genelde kapalı yerlerde bile şey geziyoruz. Dura geziyoruz. Aa Q. Bir karşı edeceğiz ya. Dur hafta evimiz oraya.
Whew, boy. Yeah, that's a good reason to stop drilling.
Aa burada bir şey var mı burada? Ama burada bir şey yok. Doktor sen ne yaptın ya? Nereye gittin bu kadar amına koyayım?
And bingo. Let's see what we got.
Elimizde derken elimde. Hepsi satarız. Kanat ol şey çok değerli. Etler çok zor kırılıyor. Ben sana çanta vermiştim. Doğru sana çantanı veririm. Gel reis. Tamam çantanı
Hey,
verelim ya.
good to see you. Hey, if you find a new pistol, I'd be obliged.
Ona da benim kastam verdim. Ama ya çok fazla seni yormayacak. Hani de garip durmayacak bir çanta vereyim. Avcısı... Bak senin zırhın da öldürüyor avcısı çünkü. Onu kullan. Bakalım bunu.
That's it then.
Burada ama yakıştı lan, yakıştı. Sen niye o silah
The
kullanıyorsun bu
galaxy's
arada?
too
Ben
big.
sana o
I
silah
might have
kullan
what you
demedim ki.
need.
Ben sana bu silah kullan demişim, pardon. Neyse. Sen bu silah kullan hatta. Bunu kullan, daha iyi olacak bu sana.
Yep.
O müzikleri de çalacak burada.
Man, you gotta give it to the Red Devils. They had class.
Yalnız burası garip bir yer yalnız beyler. Burada bir olay çiçek mi geliyor da neyse. Sanki buraya basacakmış gibi bir his var içinde var. Sanki biri buraya basacakmış gibi de bize burası savunacakmışız gibi böyle. Defans sıkıyorum yani. Tarzı bir şey yapasın. Bir şey aldım mekandan. Bir vibe aldım.
So you must be the one who got me out of the red with the trade authority. Can't say I don't appreciate it, but I doubt you came all this way just to do me a favor.
Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts? Adrian sent you. Did she look okay? A terramorph. She's fortunate to be alive at all. Hope you two had plenty of backup. So what's this she had you bring all the way down here after putting you in harm's way? Adrian said that, huh? If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
Hadi bakalım. Bak bakalım.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests. Oh, and Lou mentioned how you took care of the dead. Can't say I'm thrilled the Trade Authority got their mitts on the research, but I guess that's the price you pay not to live in a cave the rest of your days. All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we?
All right, just get those cellular markers tagged.
Wait. Where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinian.
Ne oluyor lan?
I'll need to get this all in a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved. Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinian. It was. An entire city wiped off the map. The swarms are so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they look just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either. I don't think it was transported to Tal Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity.
That is the definition of an existential threat. Dear Lord.
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now?
Allah be, çok kafam karıştı. Bu yaratıklar galiba bu yaratık diyor. Ne aldığımız yaratık orada doğmuş galiba. Öyle bir şey diyor.
Because until now, the terramorphs that wiped out Londinian had the good sense to stay put. What happened there? It was a tragedy, but at least it was contained. So to find evidence for a similar attack on a different world, well, we don't have enough information to know precisely what this means. But I doubt it's good. So I'd love to know what it is you're planning from here. The circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster if we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
Yeah. Onu merak eden için değişik genlerde bir şeyim var. Kartını buraya bir yere koyarım. Bir koyabilirsem. Bu konularda yeniyim. Orada izlersiniz. Yani bu görevin başlangıcı o. Değişik genler diye bir bölümüm var. Orada başlıyor. Görevin başlangıcı orası. Ya olay şu. Bunlar değişik gen diye bir yaratık var. Bunlar dünyada gidip insana saldırıyor ama dünyaya nasıl gittiklerini ya da orada olduklarını, nasıl orada olduklarını kimse bilmiyor. Bir anda çıkıyorlar. Böyle şeriye falan saldırıyorlar, yok ediyorlar, insanlara saldırıyorlar, yok ediyorlar. Bayağı zeki, güçlü yaratıklar bunlar. Değişken dedikleri. Bu terramorph dedikleri şey yaratık. Terramorph. Bayağı güçlü yaratık. Bunun hani sırrı, bunlar nasıl geliyor, bunlar nasıl yürüyor, bunlar nasıl bir anda var olup gezegene sıçrıyor onu bilmiyoruz. İşte onu aramaya çalışıyoruz. Ayrıca bir de bunlar bir şeyi yok ediyor işte, o facia, trajedi dediği nokta. Bunlar bir şeye bir saldırıyor, yok ediyor işte. Kim varsa, kim var yoksa hepsini öldürüyorlar. Bir bidon mu ne, bir tane şeyden bahsetti ya. O şehir işte orası da. Ya dur bu adam, nereye çıkıyorsun? Nereye çıkıyorsun? İn şuradan. İşte onlara biraz şey yapacağız galiba, savaşacağız galiba. Burada bir yerde asansör vardı değil mi? sor. Şu içinde de galiba aynen. Aynen burada. Bu kadar. Olay bu yani. Çember dedikleri de çemberi bilmiyorum valla. Çember ne olduğunu da bilmiyorum. Abi bir başına ya. Orasını soruyor. Sikerim şeyi. Ben gidince düzelir herhalde. Oyuncu öyle. Yani işin sırrı da şeyde, bu yaratıklar nasıl bir anda insanlar olduğu gezegenden çıkıyor. Zeki yaratıklar ama teknoloji kullandıkları bilinmiyor. Yani yok yani. Bir yaratık.
Found a clutch of heat leeches, breeding.
Nasıl bir anda var oluyor? Hep orada mı yaşadılar? Buna dair hiçbir kanıt ben hiç bulamıyor insanlık şu ana kadar. Göreve gidiyor Çağan ya. Vanguard görevi biraz şey olur diyordum. Biraz daha sönük kalır diyordum ama hani göreve iyi gidiyor.
Percival.
Ha bak
My
altında geldi.
God, look at you.
Bu altın kurtarmıştık şeyden, istasyondan. Bu altın bir şey, işte gitti de o yaratığı öldür, ondan bir örnek al. Aldık örnek, bunu götürdük. Ben de bunu incelemem. Bunu işte benim profesörüm vardı işte, bu Doktor Volk oluyor o profesörde. Bunu götürdü, o inceledi. O inceler dedi, o inceledi işte artık buradayız. Hazır kes ben devam edeyim. Görev sardı yani. Güzel gidiyoruz.
You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say,
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
It's really, really hard not to stare into their eyes. Can we talk?
Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble.
Yok ya yapmadık.
That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that
Birkaç
kind of
hatası var.
news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varoon somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on two conditions. One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us. Well, when the colony war came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. the UC, Freestar, and House Varun. They made a lot of decisions about what sort of tactics should and shouldn't be permitted in future conflicts. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was locked away in the archives. Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement of members from all three factions. And as to what our research is doing in there, well, I'll get to that.
Kabine ne harbiden?
The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body.
Tamam.
The President, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind.
Uf.
Well, that's about the best news I've had all day. But before you commit, I want to make sure you know the whole story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers.
Hayda hadi bakalım.
We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done. No. We were both dismissed after the war for what we did. These days, we're just concerned citizens with a very particular area of expertise. Our damage has been done for a long time. Oh. You already knew.
Tahmin etmiştim.
I'm sorry about that. It didn't seem relevant in the moment, and well, it's not something I'm exactly proud of. But it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the Cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it.
ATT anlamışsınızdır. Warfare diye bir bölüm yapıyor adamlar. Uzay yaratıkları savaşta kurmak için yani, anladın mı yani? Bu işte değişik genler diyeceğim ben bunlara. Yabancısı biraz zor söylemesi. Bunlar çok üstün, dedim ya, anlattığım gibi çok üstün bir yaratıklar, zeki demek yer. Bunları kurmak için, savaşta kurmak için işte bunları eğitin, bu canavarı eğitin, bize yardım etsen savaşta. Daha bağış anlaşması imzalanıyor. Bunlar yasaklanıyor. Onlar da işten atılıyor falan tutuyor işte.
Because the Terramorph project was doomed from the start. Terramorphs are too mean, too smart, too hungry to be used in combat. Trust us, we tried. The data that's in the archives, it's historical write-ups, anatomical notation, food chain analyses. I doubt they would have even classified it if it didn't have a Xeno-Warfare logo on it. You have my word. It's not a threat. I mean, I hope they will, given the evidence we've acquired. But getting the Freestar Collective and House Varun on our side, that won't be easy.
İstila bende ya, olur.
Since
Rahat
neither
olurum.
group is exactly on great terms with the UC at the moment, for various reasons.
Exactly. It's going to mean negotiations and deals and plenty of diplomatic legwork to see this through. But I don't see a better option to solving what's going on here. So it's gonna be up to us to get them on board. All right.
Hadi.
I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
Hadi bakalım. Hemen dışarı gel şu an sen ya hadi.
Failure to comply with the ordinance will result in fines exceeding 5,000 credits or 100 hours.
Ben hadi anlat.
Yeah, sorry if I'm a little out of it. Didn't get much sleep last night. Lillian and me, I tried talking with her and I lost my cool. Got a little heated. I know I woke Cora up. Well, up until a few years ago, she kept hoping we'd get back together. I mean, Lillian and I stayed married longer than we should have for Cora's sake. But we really weren't doing Cora any favors there. No, I'm careful about that. I mean, I try and not put down Lillian within earshot, which, well, isn't that hard, really. Ah, Lillian, she's an incredible woman. Truly. But it is always, and I mean always, about the job. When she bleeds, Freestar colors spill out. And back when I was a ranger, we were quite the team. I never had much passion for law enforcement. But there were days I was damn proud to wear the uniform. And other days, too messy. I mean, we always walked the line well. Lillian is good that way.
Arkadaşlar ben de Ranger'ım
But
ya.
some laws I think are horseshit. Like ruining lives because some barroom brawl got out of hand. That never sat well with me. I could do the job, sure, that wasn't the problem. Traveling, exploring, seeing new crazy things. It calls to me. But one day, I was just done. No particular reason. It had been building for a long time. So I tried to convince Lillian to leave it behind, come with me.
Ama gelmedi.
She shot me down. Hard. Hurt my pride. More than a little. But she was probably right. Not for a second. And she's right. Lillian is where she's meant to be. She always wants to fight the good fight. And the Rangers are lucky to have her. Yeah. Separation ain't known to be kind on little ones. It's funny, our latest argument started because Lillian thinks I'm putting Cora in too much danger traveling with you. I mentioned the idea you had about maybe Cora staying with Lillian if things got too dangerous. Suddenly she was all excuses. She's always going on that she doesn't see Cora enough. And then I try to take her up on that and yeah, fireworks. Late night stakeouts, shootouts with a lot of leftover adrenaline. Well, we were never lacking in chemistry. Compatibility, on the other hand... Nah, don't be. It's always something. Cora's been stood up a time or two by Lillian. Always for the best reasons. Last time I think Lillian got a medal for it. But at a certain point, Lillian's excuses don't matter. Poor Cora cried for a week. I don't want to put her through that again. You are just too damn wise for your own good. Well, something to think about. For now, Lillian's going straight to voicemail. So everyone can sleep easy.
Subterranean particle detonation imminent. Be advised to secure this article.
Keep a lookout. Notify us.
Bunda işte yan güvençe ihtimalle işte. Yıldırımla falan buluşacağız. Onu yapıyor işte şimdi yapacağız.
Detonation occurred in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stay away from the Sixth Circle
Aa gidiyor. Lan nereden çıktı lan bunlar? Çıkmadı. Buradan tek ışınlandı zaten büyük ihtimalle oraya. Bu belki gemici olacak bundan ya. Nerede bu gemici? Ha o karşıda. Neyse ağzımı içine ışınlandım ben.
Got anything you need to offload? Trade Authority is always buying. Kiosk right here for you. Need some work done? Looks to me like you're already in pretty good... I'm sure you can find something you like.
Ah yeni gemiye gelmiş. Enforcer. Yeni modunda bu beyler. Yani birkaç gemi ekliyor. Ama tabi her firmaya bak şu gemiler ekliyor. Güzel. Yani kargo gemisi 9 boyata taşıyor. 28 güzel. Alın kod. Onlar ona veriyor. Zaten zaten klasik gemi. Tamam. Tamam.
Okay, no problem.
Bizim yan gemi. Burada tam bu gemi geçtiği bir şey yok zaten ya. Şu geminin nesini geliştireceğim yani baksana. Full. Geçmek istediğim bir gemi vardı. Nerede o? Bu gemiyi kullanmak istiyorum ya. Çok güzel bir gemi de. Şunu geçtirmek bir şey. Tak. Baksana. Bakalım. Asko ne yapıyorsun lan? Seni alacağım bir yanıma ya. Seni geleceğim. Bunları şey yapayım. Şunları gezeyim Asko. Seni de alacağım belki bir yanıma. Bundan bir iş bitsin. Bir çıkalım.
I love the smell of getting back into the harness. Say your last goodbyes. Nothing like hitting orbit.
Bu lan. Neymiş? Doğa ayak. Büyüsü bir jense. Bir daha cıvıtı var yanına da. Oha reis. Bir girmemiz yok mu bunun? Yok şunun bir bakıyor mu zaten?
So, Miss Stay Up Late reading under the covers. Did you learn anything new from your book last night?
Don't pretend to be mad at me. I know you aren't really. I learned that back on Earth, people used to use the stars to navigate. That's so cool. But I guess it only worked because they just lived on one planet. And that sounds boring.
Remind me one of these days to tell you the tale of a certain Solomon Coe and where his stargazing landed him.
Hadi gidelim yeter ya.
Hail acknowledged. You're clear to dock at docking port 1. The commander will be waiting for you in operations.
Ha sen sonra bu uğrarsana. Ben bir tane şey muhabbeti bu. Bu bizim gizli ajan muhabbeti bu bir tane de. Ha dur gideyim bakayım ya. Belki vallahi belki ne kalmaz. Zaten C'si aynıysa gizli ajan muhabbeti hemen çıkarım da.
Docking integrity 100%. Good to go, Cap. You're the good guys, right? Please tell me you stuff for the good guys.
Captain Kai, greetings.
Sorusu mu? Galiba değil.
Just shut up and do as you're told.
Okay.
Hey,
Orası aynen. Orası.
Yes?
Orası aynen orası. Beyler biz buraya geldik. Gidelim. Tamam. Gizli ajan muhabbeti olduğu yer burası. Gidelim. Kabine buluşmaya.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete.
Aa bir seviye atlamıştık lan doğru. Şunu şey yapma seviye verin. Bu seviye atladıkça şu ismimin yazdığı sol alt taraftaki simge değişiyor. Onu fark ettim geçenlerde. Dur. İyice şimdi buradan bir şey verebiliyoruz mu? Sonra modu da yükleyeceğiz buraya. Kullanalım. Zaten mutlu açmışık. Artık siyah kullanmıyoruz artık. Şu sosyalden şunu açısım var. Savaşa bakalım. Kritik vuruş şansımızı bir arttıralım. Patikası daha sallanır. Şu anlık bunlara ihtiyacımız yok. Abi. Nerede ne var? Burada fullledik. Bunlar mini demeçler. Şu anlık buradan bir şey gidesim var. Tamam. Tamamdır.
Captain! Over here! The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure...
Hayda, oğlum senin ne sorun var?
There's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon.
Hayda.
One-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War. Former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
Oğlum nasıl bir o görev bulan...
I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War,
Erkekmiş yani.
and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it.
Bir erkeğin bu nasıl iş
A
ya? Nasıl iş
non-trivial
ya?
amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels. But there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne.
Şerefsizlik.
A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the Colony War to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him. I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time.
Yok kanki yok.
No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too.
Çok
But
hatalı ya.
Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault.
Biri
In
çok
the end, that's
hatalı.
what cost him his life.
İçeriği değiştirebilirim.
Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the Cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions.
Gerçeği anlayamadım.
Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our
Ha, çeviri
intentions.
çok hatalı ya. O başlar kadar kötü gelmedi. Şu an çok sıçıyor. Çok sıçıyor yani. Bunu değiştirelim yakın zamanda. Daha güzel bulursam.
I strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
Ya söyle.
I strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring.
Hadi gidelim.
Then I guess it's just a matter of.
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Hadi gidelim.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Nasıl koşuyor?
Captain, can I help you?
Evet kanki alamaz. Hadi orası şikiler. Hadi bakalım. Başkanla görüşmeye gidiyoruz beyler. Belki bu şekilde gideceğim. Kılıçlarla. Biraz yavaş artist yürüyelim. Oo, konser toplamış.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yasin mi?
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor. All knowledge related to the technologies banned by the UC and the Freestar Collective after the Colony War resides in the archives, including the aforementioned Terramorph data you and Hadrian are after. I want to know what you, someone with less direct involvement in the Armistice, sees as the purpose behind granting said access.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
And that data may be the key to stopping untold suffering. Greater good is calling. You gotta pick up.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one.
Ah, girdi mi Yasin?
Very well, you have my agreement.
Yasin.
The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat.
Bakın Türk'ü.
So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to...
Hayda. Ne oluyor lan? Ne oluyor lan?
Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident. Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport.
Hayda.
Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Holy, we need to move.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Ha tak. Şehri bastılar.
You! The EM rifle! Grab it!
Alright.
Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please! I can't stop!
Ne bunlar acaba?
That's it. Now hit him with everything you've got.
Why? Why are you fighting?
What are you doing? EM fire, Captain! Lights out on that one.
Thank God you got here when you did. I just wish it hadn't come to that.
Yeah, what the hell happened back there, Captain? There's no excuse for using lethal force here.
Dur. Reis dur. Ben ilk kaydetmişim bak. O bana EMP verdi. EMP yapacaktım doğru. Biz arkadan öldürdük amına koyayım. Bizde EMP var karşıma rahat ol.
Thanks for playing. Bye. Oh, this is happening.
Thank you.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence.
Bunlar
weren't they?
insanları da etkiliyor.
I
Vay amına koyayım.
don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us.
EMP verelim de
People we
insanla
knew.
bulması amına koyayım.
They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
Adam rahat reis rahat ol.
I'm not suggesting. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just, and some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them. But still, be aware, those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terramorph. Let's do it.
That's unlocked. Please.
Gel sen. Sana silah verelim.
I'm up for a little adventure. Happy to even out the load.
Gel sana silah verelim. EMP verelim sana. Hadi bu EMP. Yerden aldım. Köftesi var. Keşke satsaydık bunları amına koyayım ya. Bunu verelim sen. Al sen bunu sen bunu. Aa dur. Dedim ki. Dedim ki. Nasıl dört lan bu? Burayı bekle bir saniye.
Hayır.
Ortaya karıştırma. Sen bunu al.
That's it. Now hit him with everything you've got.
Any day you make it through.
Sen bunu
If
alacaksın.
you're looking for something
Ha, şimdi bunu vereceğiz. Hemen bir tane daha var sigorta yerde. Burada. Al bunu. Sen. Bunu kullan. Tamamdır. Sık sık. Lan bana sıkma yani bunları. Buna sık.
Yeah, I was done too.
Bu şey evet tamam. Bu pompalı. Tamam. Hadi gidelim. Sen öldürmesin lan bana pat pat diye sıkması kapalı lan bana koyayım.
smash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
An evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
There! You might back up! Don't just stand there!
Ya dur.
Good! Wait, officer? Are you and this woman... Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, got one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Target down. Nice work, Captain.
I wonder what Jacob would think of a crow helping to save New Atlantis. Damn if I'm not proud of it, though.
Zor bir görevde ettik ama. Ben daha fazla vermesi böyle 3 tane değil de 5-6 tane koysam daha güzel olurmuş ya. Daha çok ister gibi gözükürdü.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two.
Rahat ol dostum, biz hallederiz.
Universe put the right people in the right place.
Evet ya. Gerçek anılar sizlersiniz.
Certainly doesn't feel like it.
Hadi bakalım.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all clear signal before exiting.
Hallederiz dostum ya. Bir daha şey hallederiz. Yalnız görev çok güzelmiş ya. Bak Vanguard'a giriş test görevi de başladı. Nibrantas'ın istilasına geldik ama koyayım var ya. Ay bir de yapmış adamlar ya. Vallahi yapmışlar yani. Helal olsun.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
The loss of life, the damage to the spaceport. The costs of this attack are greater than I think we realize.
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ya çok şaka.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes.
Aldık.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd
I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
Herkes bizi ister dostum. Ablam.
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay... There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help, but above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to... I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
I hope Cora doesn't get too much underfoot.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that tape.
I don't know about you, but a fella could do a lot worse in Constellation. Goodbye.
Burada bölümü bitirelim beyler. Sonra devam edeceğiz. Vanguard göbeği güzel sardı, iyi sardı. Bakalım bundan sonra neler olacak. İzlediğiniz için teşekkür ederim.